Hiya YouTubers, this is Superman G, come back at you one more again. And I got a question from one of my subscribers, and it's actually a very good question. And they asked me, do I need to update the BIOS on my computer? A lot of people have been informed that you should update the BIOS if one is available. However, that may not always be the case. When you go to buy a computer, whether it's one you've customly built or whether it's one you've gotten out of a store, there is a good chance that the BIOS is anywhere from weeks to months to maybe even a year behind. That's not a bad thing. That's just something that happens. Sometimes when you get your computer, it'll run fine. You don't need to update the BIOS. Sometimes these computer systems have a way of updating the BIOS automatically once you start setting it up. Furthermore, if you're not sure about how to do this, then make sure you seek a professional or a computer technician who knows how to do this. In some cases, to update the BIOS, you don't have to do unless the computer is prompting you to, or if you're having issues with the computer itself, such as performance, such as it maybe showing you blue screens of death, which is BSOD, or unless it's just giving you problems after problems. Sometimes updating the BIOS can correct these issues. But if you're not sure on what version of BIOS you have on your computer, then what you can do is, to find out, go down to the search bar at the bottom of your taskbar, and you're going to type in system information. And when you do, this will be all the hardware of your computer. There's also software here as well, but you want to look for where it says BIOS version, which is right here. This shows you the BIOS version and date. This is the company that made the BIOS, and this is the date, 1/27/2022. Now this is my motherboard's BIOS, so yours will most likely be different. Once you have the date, you can go back to the manufacturer of your computer, whether it's Dell or HP or Lenovo, whomever, and you can actually log into your account. And I suggest you do make an account for that company if you don't have one. That way you'll keep track of all your purchases and supports and anything of that nature. But once you get logged to the account, you want to go to where it says support for that product, which is somewhere usually on this side. And then you're going to come down to the drivers and tools, and you want to look for the BIOS and firmware. Now remember, my BIOS was 1/27/22. That's the BIOS I have currently installed. The new BIOS is 4/6/22. I don't have to update this BIOS because I've never had any problems with this computer since I installed it. Now, the updated BIOS gives you information as to what the update BIOS involves or entails. Update for Intel security issue, improved system performance, improved system capability and stability, supports Thunderbolt EX4 card, firmware update tool for models equipped with an onboard TBT header. Remember, my BIOS version was 1/27/22, and as you can see, it's kind of outdated. But that doesn't mean that I have to update it. Remember that you do not have to do this if you're not comfortable with it, but this can also be a very tricky process if you're not sure what to do. In some cases, if you update the wrong BIOS, you can what they call brick your motherboard, which means that the computer will not restart. It will turn on, but you will see absolutely nothing on the screen. So you have to be extra specially careful. If your computer is running fine, you haven't had any issues, the manufacturer of the motherboard is not telling you to update the BIOS or anything like that, then you're perfectly fine. Other than that, just leave everything the way it is and you should be fine. I hope this helps you guys out. You all take care, be safe, and peace out.